And welcome back to episode 8 of the Unreliable Narrator, the solution to the Gruesome Gold-Rush Graveyard. Before we get round to hearing who done it and who killed Hugh Mineshaft, we will go around our suspects and see if they have any theories. I think it's probably only fair to go in reverse, as we usually do. So therefore, we will start with Alexi.
No, I don't know. It's clearly got something to do with being able to read or write. She said he couldn't read, so I'm going to say it was the first guy. I've lost track of how many names.
Ewan de Grand.
It was Ewan de Grand because his wife said he can't read, but you wouldn't need to be able to read to write.
Right.
So he wrote the words.
Okay.
And that's that. And it's something to do with they went in through the west entrance, probably, so you didn't need to know about the other entrances because you went through the east-west back mine.
Even though he was killed in Southwark's mine.
Well, if you can do compass points, you know to just take a right angle.
Okay. An excellent theory. Seb?
I mean, not a clue in the slightest, but I'm going to say the wife.
So you're going to say Penny?
Yep, because of Wandering Hands, and she is lying, I don't know why or how, but she is lying about not being able to do it because of, not knowing how to find him in the mine and things like that.
Oh,
so,
that was the half-sister, the one who couldn't find him in the mine, not the wife. So do you mean Diane O'Might?
Let's say they planned it together.
So Penny and Diane, okay.
Thelma and Louisa.
Right, perfect.
Yep.
One to Polly.
I think that what's mine is mine might not actually have been. Oh no, it was written in blood, wasn't it? I was gonna say that it was there beforehand, but no, it was written in blood.
It's a standard welcome message.
I think it actually might be Mr. Watt.
Ooh, interesting.
Because obviously he owns obviously all these mines, and this guy's basically creating a load of ruckus between all of his all of his people that work for him, and so he's like, do you know what? I'm gonna kill him, and then I'm gonna write what's mine is mine because it's mine. So don't just stop messing around with all of my people.
Take it very logical.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent theory. Good logic there.
I like that.
So next, Brandon.
I'm on the same sort of track as Polly a little bit. I'm between two, so I'm between Mr. Watt for the exact same reasons as Polly. Actually, he obviously kept all the money and stuff. Like he really wasn't. It wasn't what's mine is yours. But also with Ewan says he can't read. Yes, but also if you're working somewhere, you're going to see those same words every day. He knows what the word mine looks like. So he could have wrote what's mine is mine because he knows. He doesn't maybe know how to say what's mine is yours, but he knows how to say the word mine, or write it at least. So I kind of thought it might have been him, and he's the only person who I think would know that, apart from Mr. Watt as well, that lends to this little bit, that knows the layout of the mines, would know his way around it because it said that he died quite deep into it.
Yep.
And the only two people I think who would know the entire layout of the mine would either be Mr. Watt or Ewan.
Interesting. So are you going for them both as a twosome, or are you going to plump for one of them?
Oh, probably for one. Go with Watt. Yeah, go with Watt.
Watt as well. Okay. And Joe.
Mine's got, as usual, my theory has loads of holes in it. But I have a kind of baseline. I think it's the half-sister who got the will.
Diane.
Yeah, and I think the message is more literal. I don't think it's meant to be like a play on his slogan. I think it's literally what's mine is mine, as in it's now hers. She now owns it. But then she had loads of good reasons why she couldn't have done it. So that's where the holes are, because she wouldn't have known how to get down there. But then I was thinking that I was like, but then apparently there's just loads of wives down there, in the mine.
It was a wife mine.
There was loads of women down there, so there's a good chance she's been there.
Yeah. Definitely. If he'd been meeting women down there, then
I think
There's
she
a map
knows
somewhere, isn't there?
Yeah, I think she'll know. I think she knows. Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying Diane?
Yeah.
And finally, the person who has the notes
Well, I've been on a journey this week, so this is my theory, but then I have like a full page of notes. Because I've been through like
You're not getting marked on
theories.
this, you know.
I've been through like 3 theories. So my first one, I got really stuck on Ewan having done it, but then I was like, that's too obvious, because we said he was the most obvious suspect and you wouldn't do that. So then I got really stuck on like Joe's theory of it not being what's mine is mine, but like what's mine is mine. But then I couldn't figure out how anybody would be inheriting this mine by murdering Hugh. So I've landed on Penny, trait and drill.
Okay.
Because her husband suspected her of sleeping with Hugh and was trying to find proof to divorce her to marry her sister. So that's where I think the what's mine is mine comes into it, is where she was wanting to keep her husband. And I think she did the hands and the message to make it look like, because she was the one that said, oh, it looks like one of the husbands would have done it to, warn off wandering hands. I think that's why she did it, to make it look like it was a disgruntled husband. And I think that she had actually been having an affair, but didn't want to lose her husband. And that's how she knew how to find him in the mine, because she'd been doing the nasty deep down in South What's Mine.
Excellent. I mean, a very well considered theory.
Take me days.
So that's
Days.
1 for Ewan, 2 for one Penny.
1.5. Yeah, Seb's gone for 2, so sort of 1.5 for Penny.
2 Mr. Watts.
1.5 for Diane, 2 Mr. Watts, and a Ewan.
Wow.
So
And now I'm thinking more on it. I'm like, what if, like, it's not saying what's mine is mine. It's what, as in Mr. What's mine is mine.
Possibly.
And somebody's like inherited the mine.
Yeah, that's
by
what
doing
I
this.
thought it was a play.
Well, should we hear once and for all who actually killed
Yes.
Hugh Mineshaft?
Absolutely.
Go on.
In fact, the killer was penetrating Phil.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
well done, Alice.
Yeah, I mean, Alice got it. It turns out that if you write a page and a half of notes, you're going to get it right. And
I spent 3 days stressing about it.
basically, everything she said was accurate. However, there is one tiny thing which means that it could only have been her. There was a very big clue that she is the only person that can have done it. The motive and everything Alice said was exactly right. It's what mine is mine, because she wanted to keep you and not let him disappear with his sister. It's all there. She was having an affair with Hugh, so that's how she knew how to get into the mines, because it specifically said he canoodled with other people's wives in the shaft. So therefore, anyone who was canoodling with him would know how to get in and out. But how can we be absolutely certain that it was Penny? Well, it comes across in various different details, but we learned that Mr. Watt specifically went straight to the sheriff because he didn't want anyone else knowing what had happened, because he didn't want anything that could be what closed What's Mine down, etc. And then when the sheriff went to see the most obvious suspect, Ewan underground, we heard he didn't even ask how he died. And as soon as the sheriff started to explain, well, there was a message left beside the body, Ewan immediately interrupted and said it couldn't be him, as he couldn't read or write. But then what does the very next thing that Ewan's wife says? Ah, well, if it's because someone's had their hands cut off, it must be because of, how did she know?
How did
she know that his hands had been cut off? Nobody told her. Nobody knew. Even the other suspect, when we hear they had to be told how they died, nobody knew except for her. And how could she have known that the person had their hands cut off? Because she was the one what done it.
So did Ewan know?
I knew it was going to be something like that.
Did Ewan know that she'd done it?
No, Ewan didn't know.
Oh, right, okay.
Everyone just missed this tiny detail of the fact that, as indeed did all of
That's
you.
why you put the paragraph in.
Yeah, that's why.
why.
For those of you wondering, that's why there's suddenly this random paragraph of, oh, that reminds me, random nonsense about different minds. Because had those 2 paragraphs followed each other immediately, Ewan saying, I don't care how he died, and immediately interrupted with, it can't be me because I can't read or write. And then the very next sentence was, where was it?
Confirmed you couldn't read.
Ewan's wife confirmed he couldn't read, but said the chopped off mitts did seem like a warning from her husband. How did she know? How could she possibly have known? Because she was the one what done it.
She done diggity dung dung done it.
Done it.
Done diggity done it.
So a hearty congratulations to Alice for actually spending the time working
I
it all
don't
out.
usually get them right. This is a good day.
Yep. And commiserations to everyone else. There were some lovely theories, but unfortunately, all wrong. And a massive thank you once again to Brandon for joining us.
Yay!
Has it left you mentally scarred, or would you be interested in joining us again at some point?
I mean, I always love a trip to the highly suspect verse. Every time I feel like I'm a new man, and sometimes I walk on stage a new character, so you never know what's going to happen.
So yeah, we never. I think Brandon is the true meaning of adding chaos to this. So we'll certainly have him back at some point. So do join us again next time, and in the meantime, check out the clues in your shaft, and we'll see you for next week's Unreliable Narrator.
Goodness me.
Bye bye.
I hope there's an ointment for that.
Yeah.